I'm not an FBI agent, right? I don't even do cardio.
Alice is a very complicated character. Tell me a little bit, though, what it was that drew you to this character and why you thought you could bring her to life.
Liz Merriweather is such an incredible writer, and the character that she has written is so dynamic and so historied. And it's interesting to play a woman in law enforcement in this contemporary moment because we got to work with and learn from current and former FBI and current and former detectives. And a lot of them are so passionate about the job and also frustrated that they don't always get the justice that they see that victims deserve. So I felt the character has an incredible journey. She's also not who you think she is at first. She has this kind of invisible thread to our serial killer, and our story isn't a traditional kind of whodunit, because you know from the first scene. But it's kind of like a whodunit, and us uncovering more and more about how these two women might share more than they are different.
Because it's a whodunit, we do know that there are connections between your character and the serial killer. Tell me about creating that, if we can, without giving anything away, but creating the dynamic between those two characters.
They're both victims of violence, but they're on very, very different trajectories. Obviously, my character started at the NYPD, worked her way up to detective, and then had to leave that because of a relationship that had turned very bad and didn't believe she could get justice for herself. So she started over, fresh out of Quantico, answering the phones at the FBI, and stumbles upon this case that will, infuriatingly enough, mean that she has to go back and work with some of the people that she's been running away from. And we see the ways that the violence in her history has shaped her, how kind of disconnected she's become from herself, how she's kind of courting of these sexual interactions that are challenging to watch and confusing at first because of the violent nature of them. So I think that there are a lot of complexities here, and you know, in theory, when you turn on a show and there's a FBI agent and a killer, you think, okay, good guy, bad guy, but I think we realize that our good guy understands the bad guy inherently because they share maybe more than we think at first.
There are some very difficult scenes in this. How do you steel yourself to get ready to shoot some of these scenes, which are about the trauma that your character has suffered, but that trauma manifests itself in sometimes very physical ways?
Sure.
And so tell me a little bit about prepping to shoot those scenes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an FBI agent, right? I don't even do cardio. So it was incredibly important for me to make my body as much of a weapon as possible, to get incredibly strong, to shoot as much as I could, to understand what it means to have a weapon feel like more like an extension of your body, and to shapeshift myself in that way. And in that way, when I'm never scared of vulnerability. Might be scared of it in life, but not as scared of it within the confines of a script that I have and understand. And every day I go to work, I think I'm grateful to be there. Feelings are just feelings to me. Some are happy feelings, some are sad feelings, some are scared feelings, but they're just energy moving through our bodies, and we're telling stories. And so in that way, I'm able to kind of channel very deep and very real things. And certainly my body doesn't know that I'm lying, but I always try to keep it a little bit in my head that it isn't me.
So it's almost, I guess, like having a color palette, and you can choose the colors that you're working with, or emotions in this case, to create the painting.
Sure, certainly, yeah. But when you've spent enough time with people and had enough conversations and kind of, this is not the right word, but stolen the things that they've told you and repurposed them as a little part of yourself or your own or your characters, there's a way in which you can deeply channel things and then still be able to go home and not have them be yours.
Well, thank you very much, and congratulations on the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.